The A-Team Challenge, a major project of the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools, is produced in partnership with the School District of Lee County, Waterman Broadcasting, and NBC2. This program features high school students in both public and private schools from 6 Southwest Florida counties as they compete in this exciting academic challenge. Lee County High School student interns help produce the show under the direction of the Lee County Schools Communication and Production Department. The A-Team Challenge is brought to you by the Suncoast Credit Union Foundation and a contributing sponsorship by Hodges University.
Hello everybody and welcome once again to another game of the A-Team Challenge. I'm Robert Van Winkle, your host, and very proud to be here for the 2016 school year. We have a wonderful match here scheduled between Barron Collier High School and Riverdale High School, and we're in our 27th year celebrating academic excellence here in Southwest Florida. You can watch our games on Comcast Channel 99. This year, something new, you can catch our games on YouTube. If you do a search on YouTube for Lee Schools TV, you'll find our games there, and you will see some fine matches already. We're about halfway through, a little more than halfway through our first round. One of these two schools will be moving on, and one will be going home. We're students today. The questions will be in the subjects of math, arts and humanities, language arts, social studies, and a few general knowledge questions as well. Here's a little summary of the rules. The students have all been well briefed on the rules. These are for you folks watching at home. First 3 rounds, 5, 10, and 20 points. No penalty for wrong answers in the first 3 rounds. However, if you get the question wrong, maybe buzz in too soon, whatever, the other team has a chance to steal the point after they hear the whole question. Final exam, you'll be working with your alternates and wagering as much or as little of your score as you wish. Students, remember, work individually and no help from your team members in the first 3 rounds. All right, welcome once again to our 2 schools competing here in this game. On my right, this is Barron Collier High School. Barron Collier decked out in their nice blue shirts. And on the other side, we have Riverdale High School in the nice maroon colors there. So Riverdale High versus Barron Collier. Students, if you are ready to play the A-Team, let's get started. Put your hands on your buzzers. Each question is worth 5 points to start the game. Here we go. Question number 1. The Leon Uris novel Exodus is set in the late 1940s and fictionally discusses the creation of this country. Name this small Middle Eastern nation that lets Daniel, Barron Collier.
Israel.
Israel lets people become a citizen if they're Jewish, especially easily there. 5 points, Barron Collier. Give the general term for any novel like The Three Musketeers or Anna Karenina that appeared in a newspaper or magazine. Daniel, Barron Collier.
Periodical.
No, not periodical. Riverdale, I'll finish it. It appears in the newspaper magazine 1 weekly or monthly chapter at a time. It's a term used today for some TV soap operas. Adrian.
Serial?
A serial, that's correct. 5 points, Riverdale High, good job. For 5, his daughter Amy was in grade school when he first came to Washington, D.C. Name this one-term president born in Plains, Georgia. Daniel, Barron Collier.
Carter.
Carter is correct. Jimmy Carter, 5 points. Barron Collier. Give the word that can mean a page of a book, to casually look through a book, or something, Francis, Barron Collier.
Leaf.
A leaf, or something you rake up in the autumn. A leaf is right for 5 points. Barron Collier. It's easy to clean up, which makes it great for kids. However, serious artists have to use several... Luke, Riverdale.
Silly putty?
Say again?
Silly putty?
That's a good try, Luke. Nope, not what I'm looking for. Serious artists have to use several layers of it to make it look like they want. Identify this type of paint. Bent.
Watercolor.
Ben. Sorry?
Watercolor.
Watercolor, that's correct. Watercolor is right. And you got 5 points, Barron Collier. Next for 5. Anciently, the first step in writing was the switch from creating pictograms to creating this object that's almost always got a vowel in it. When seen in a dictionary, 2 of them are typically separated by a dot, such as the word water. Name, Nick, Barron Collier.
Syllable.
Syllable. Name this unit of words. 5 points, Barron Collier. Next for 5. The dust storm, known as a haboob, was first seen and named in this country, where the Blue Nile and the White Nile rivers meet. Nick, Barron Collier. Sudan. That's correct. Good job. Name the African nation. Sudan, 5 points. Barron Collier. Next for 5. It's a math question on your screen. You will have some extra time to get this. It's a little lengthy. A circuit consists of an 8-volt DC source and resistors A, B, and C in series. A is 140 ohms, B is 220, C is 440. Calculate the total current in the circuit. For those of you watching the A-Team for the first time, math questions get a little extra time, and students are also given a calculator and some paper and pencil. And Luke is in Riverdale High.
100?
No, sorry, not 100. Good try, though. I always like to hear the tries. Barron? Francis?
1/100th of an ampere.
Yep, you got it. That's exactly right. 1/100th. Next question. That's 5 points, Barron Collier. Next for 5. Its namesake candy was created by a man who named it for his daughter, and now some 64 million of those candies are made each day. Identify this company, or its small chocolate candy, that makes another candy in which the chocolate is the center of a lollipop. Daniel, Barron Collier.
Baby Ruth.
Good try, Baby Ruth. Nope, Riverdale. Adrian.
Tootsie
Could be more specific.
Roll. I don't know.
Tootsie Roll, that's correct. Tootsie Roll, 5 points. Riverdale. Next for 5. Which major college football game calls itself the granddaddy of them all? Adrian,
Rose
Riverdale.
Bowl? The Rose Bowl.
The Rose Bowl is right. Speak up, honey. You're doing great. 5 points, Riverdale. Next question for 5. It's a math question again. You can look at your screen. When elemental iron is exposed to diatomic oxygen, the result is iron 3 oxide. Give the balanced equation for this reaction. Hurry, hurry. Nope, sorry, not in time. It was 4Fe plus 3O2, and the result is 2Fe2O3. All right, next question for 5. In the movies A Star is Born, Funny Face, and An American in Paris, and Porgy and Bess, they all had their music and or lyrics written by what pair of brothers? Adrian, wait a second. Your turn.
The Gershwins.
The Gershwin brothers, that's correct. George and Ira, 5 points. Riverdale. Next for 5. What novel by Louisa May Alcott, based on a nursery rhyme, has 2 title characters who get seriously... Nick, Barron Collier.
And then there were none.
Say again?
And then there were none.
Nope, not and then there were none. That's a good try, though. Have 2 title characters who get seriously hurt going downhill in a sledding accident. Adrian?
Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill was a response. Can you be... Judges? Can you be more specific? Can you be more specific? No? Okay. I needed to hear a little bit more. It's the village story. Jack and Jill, the village story. Okay, that's the end of our first round for 5 points. Good job, both sides. We're going to have a good game here. 20 points for Riverdale, 35 for Barron Collier. We're going to take a break, but before we do that, I'd like to introduce you to our players. First side is going to be Barron Collier, and in position 1, no stranger to the A-Team. I think, Francis, is your 3rd year, right? Yes. 3rd years. 3 years in a row. Francis is a senior this year. Francis Lord has been accepted to Notre Dame, and he'll be studying applied mathematics there. Francis, good luck to you in the future. Next to Francis is Daniel Gersoy, also a familiar face to the A-Team. He has been accepted to the University of Chicago, wants to study history and theoretical economics. And Daniel, good luck to you in the future. 2 guys in the back row. The first one is Ben Foster, a senior. He's waiting to hear from University of Michigan or Purdue, and he wants to go study aerospace engineering. And in the final spot is Nick, also a familiar face to the A-Team. Nick is a junior this year, wants to head to MIT, and will be studying mechanical engineering in the future. All right, so we've got Nick, Ben, Daniel, and Francis under the coaching of Doug Humphrey at Barron Collier High School. We'll introduce you to the players at Riverdale High when we come back. Good job, students. Thanks for the good start.
2 pennies by themselves don't add up to much. But when you're a Suncoast member, every time you swipe your Suncoast credit or debit card, Suncoast donates 2 cents to help children's programs where you live. That means Suncoast members help make their community a better place every day just by buying things with their cards. And when we add all those pennies from all those Suncoast card swipes together, we can give millions of dollars to our children's future. Visit suncoastcreditunion.com and learn how much Suncoast could save you.
Hi, my name is Marshall Bauer, and I'm proud to say I'm the Executive Director of the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools. The Foundation has as its mission engaging the business community and the community at large with our students and teachers in the public school system. Through our many initiatives and programs, we enhance and enrich what is already going on in our public school system. The goal in mind is the same goal that the school district has, to make Lee County Public Schools a world-class school system. It is important that the community understand that our students will be competing in a global market, and in order for them to succeed, they need the backing of the entire community. So please reach out to a student, to a teacher, and help the foundation succeed in its mission. Thank you.
Welcome back to the A-Team Challenge. Round 2 is about to begin. Before we do that, let's introduce you to the players from Riverdale High. In the first spot is Megan Morrison. Megan is a senior this year. Megan would like to head to Boston College, and she wants to study calculus in the future. Megan, good luck to you. Next to Megan is Luke. This is Luke Chinafong. He's a junior this year, and he would be headed to Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, and study aerospace engineering. Luke, good luck to you. In the back row is Adrian. Adrian Hill is a sophomore. Adrian wants to go to the University of South Carolina and study history. And rounding out the team is Renee Cardero. Renee is a senior, and he would like to go to the University of Michigan, study economics. So Renee, Adrian, Luke, and Megan, the team from Riverdale High School under the coaching of Scott Whittemore. All right, students, here we go. Each question's now worth 10 puntos, 10 points. Here we go. Put your hands on your buzzers, and we'll start. It has no eyelids and thus has to lick its eyes to clean them. Some can change color like a chameleon and even lose... Luke, Riverdale.
A gecko?
A gecko. Very good. There was a lot more to that. I'm glad you didn't make me have to read it. So good for you. 10 points, Riverdale High School. It can describe a subset that contains every number of its original set, as well as a definite integral with one endpoint equaling infinity. Give this adjective that also describes any fraction with a numerator larger than or equal to its denominator. Megan.
Integer.
Integer. Nope, sorry, incorrect. Barron. Francis.
Improper.
Improper fraction is when the numerator is larger than the denominator. 10 points, Barron Collier. Next for 10. In ballet, a pas de chat is a step taken so a dancer walks like... Adrian, Riverdale.
A cat.
A cat. Very good, Adrian. What common house pet, whose French word is chat? And that gives you 10 points, Riverdale. What only state to border Lake Huron has its capital at Lansing? Nick, Barron Collier.
Michigan.
Michigan is right, Nick. Good job. 10 points, Barron. Next for 10. Even people who know nothing about astronomy recognize the 3 stars in a horizontal line that comprise his belt. Nick, Barron Collier.
Orion.
Orion is the constellation, the hunter. 10 points, Barron Collier. Tell which punctuation mark should generally be used at the end of an interjection. Megan, Riverdale. Hurry. Nope, that's okay. Nick is in.
Exclamation point.
Yeah, the exclamation point goes at the end of the interjection. 10 points, Barron Collier. The ancient temple of Artemis was located in the city of Ephesus. Nick, Barron Collier.
Seleucid Empire.
Nope, sorry, incorrect. Riverdale, here's the rest of the question. In the city of Ephesus, that is now in what present-day country, whose capital is Ankara? Give it a shot, Renee.
Turkey.
Turkey is right. Good job, 10 points, Riverdale. Next for 10. Raised as a shepherd, he later became the warrior who shot Achilles in the heel. Name this son of King Priam, who... Francis, Barron Collier.
Hector.
No, not Hector. Riverdale, the rest of the question. King Priam, who in myth, after choosing Aphrodite as the most beautiful goddess, was helped by Aphrodite to seduce Helen and carry her back to Troy. Adrian.
Paris.
Paris is right. Good job. 10 points, Riverdale. Next for 10. He created the character Jesse B. Semple, who lived in Harlem and led a troubled but comic life. Name this black jazz poet of the Harlem Renaissance. Daniel, Barron Collier.
Langston Hughes.
Yeah, Langston Hughes is right. 10 points, Barron Collier. Less than 3 weeks after it began with attacks by Egypt and Syria, it ended with Israel both surrounding an Egyptian army. Daniel, Barron Collier.
6 Days War.
No, not the 6 Days War. Surrounding an Egyptian army and bombing the outskirts of Damascus. Identify the 1973 war named for the day Egypt and Syria attacked. Megan.
Arab-Israeli conflict.
Nope, sorry, incorrect. It was the Yom Kippur War. Next for 10. Give the common term for the style of classical music played by a very small group of string instruments. Daniel, Barron Collier.
Chamber music.
Chamber music is correct. 10 points, Barron Collier. What American general fired by Harry Truman in 1951? Daniel, Barron Collier.
MacArthur.
Yeah, that's right. He described his post-military life and said, old soldiers just fade away. And you got it, 10 points, Barron Collier. In 2015, she criticized Apple's new music streaming service enough to cause Apple to change its policies about paying Barron Collier.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you're right. Name that famous female singer whose hits include Shake It Off. 10 points under the gun there for Barron Collier. All right, that concludes our 10-point round. When we come back, each question will be worth 20 points. We'll see how that round plays out in just a minute. All right, guys.
Our schools are faced with increasing budgetary challenges. Now, there's an easy way for all of us to support education. By purchasing a License for Learning plate and renewing it each year, $20 are contributed to our schools to help our children. Support the License for Learning campaign. If you've got a car, get involved. For more information, call the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools, 239-337-0433. Get involved.
The A-Team Challenge, a major project of the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools, is provided in partnership with the School District of Lee County and Waterman Broadcasting.
The 20-point round is about to begin. Thanks for watching the A-Team Challenge today. Good match between Barron Collier High School and Riverdale High. All right, each question is now worth 20. Students, hands on your buzzers. The first one is a math question, so you can look at your screen and start working. Steve is 11 years older than his brother Jasper. 20 years from now, Steve will be 20% older than Jasper will be. How old is Steve right now? We will give you a few extra seconds for this. Students are also provided with scratch pad and pencil and a calculator for all math questions and maybe other questions they might need it for. Nick is in. Barron Collier.
35.
Nope, sorry, incorrect. Riverdale. Nick, you might have gotten confused there with the question. As Jasper's 35, Steve is 46. I need the answer for Steve at 46. That's okay. Next question for 20. Name the nurse who served as the first president of the American Red Cross. Daniel, you're in time.
Brown?
No,
Clara
not,
Brown? Okay.
not Brown. Riverdale? Adrian.
Clara Barton.
Yeah, Clara Barton, you got it. 20 points, Riverdale. Next for 20. Though he ruled for 11 years without Parliament in session, he was obliged to deal with short and long parliaments in 1640 because he needed the money. Francis, Barron Collier.
Charles I.
King Charles I, that is correct. The Stuart King of England. 20 points, Barron Collier. Next for 20. In recent years, scientists have found that this creature's nests or mounds store nutrients and water and may prevent nearby areas from turning into deserts. Name this insect. Megan, Riverdale.
Termites.
Yeah, good job. 20 points, Riverdale High School. It's kind of feared in the U.S. for eating trees and houses. 20 points, Riverdale. After his mother was shot by hunters, an old lady hired a private tutor for him and bought him a green suit in a fancy department store. Name this fictional animal created by Jean de Brunoff, who eventually married his cousin Celeste and became king of the elephants. Nick, Barron Collier.
Babar.
Babar is right. Jean de Brunoff is right there. I probably mispronounced that, but you got it. 20 points, Barron Collier. Next for 20. In Mark Twain's story, The Prince and the Pauper, give either the first or the last name of the man who is allowed to sit down in the king's presence. That's a good question, isn't it? Miles, Hendon, taking either one. Next question for 20. Written to fit the tune of John Brown's Body. Daniel, Barron Collier.
Battle Hymn of the Republic.
Yeah, that's the clue right there. First published in 1862. Glory, hallelujah. 20 points, Barron Collier. Next for 20. What group of people in Louisiana are descendants, Daniel, Barron Collier?
Creole.
No, not Creole. What group of people in Louisiana are descendants of immigrants from Nova Scotia? Adrian.
Cajun.
The Cajun, that's correct. 20 points, Riverdale. Next for 20. Another math question. You guys are getting your fair share of these. What is 4 to the 3/2 power minus the cube root of 729? Francis, Barron Collier.
-1.
Good job, Francis. Nice and quick. And that gives you 20 points, Barron Collier. -1. What state is home to the Omaha Indian Reservation? Daniel, Barron Collier.
Nebraska.
Nebraska is the right state. Omaha. 20 points, Barron Collier. Name this class of vertebrates based on its general characteristics as described in a biology text. Aquatic larva typically undergoes metamorphosis into terrestrial adult. Gas exchange through lungs and or moist skin. Adrian, Riverdale.
Frog.
No, not frog. Barron.
Amphibians.
Amphibians. I needed the more general term. 20 points, Barron Collier. In 1863, what European city began its subway system, now called the Tube? Daniel, Barron Collier.
London.
London, England. 20 points, Barron Collier. What HGTV show where a couple chooses one of 3 new places to live, shown to them by Daniel, Barron Collier?
House Hunters.
House Hunters. The realtor shows it to them. They've got a version in the U.S. and an international version. 20 points, Barron Collier. It is bordered on the southeast by Liberia, on the north and east by Guinea, and on the west by the Atlantic Ocean. Name this, Nick, Barron Collier.
Sierra Leone.
Good job. Name the small West African country, and that's worth 20 points, Barron Collier. Before he died in 2015, he won 2 national championships. One when a Michigan player called a timeout they didn't have, and the other when Michael Jordan made the winning shot. Name this former basketball coach at the University of North Carolina. Dean Smith. Dean Smith was the coach. One more question for 20. Give the word that came to English from Spanish for the school building or room where most students eat their lunch. Ben, Barron Collier.
Cafeteria.
Cafeteria is right. 20 points, Barron Collier. Its city of Malmö is connected to the... Daniel, Barron Collier.
Sweden.
Sweden is right. It's connected to Denmark by the Östern Bridge. Name the Scandinavian country. 20 points, Barron Collier. What number did the ancient mathematician Brahmagupta? Megan, Riverdale.
0. I didn't buzz in.
Oh, I'm sorry. It says Luke, and you said 0, and you're right. I looked at the wrong one. Luke, 0 is right. He defined it as a result of subtracting a number from itself. 20 points for Riverdale. Paintbrushes dipped in it have to be cleaned with turpentine. Artists varnish their paintings when they're done, but it really... Ben, Barron Collier.
Lacquer.
No, I'm sorry, not lacquer. It really takes a long time to dry. Riverdale, name this type of paint. Luke.
Oil.
Oil is right. 20 points, Riverdale. And that gets you in right under the wire there at 160. Barron Collier at 335. All right, when we come back, students, your final category, as I turn my page, is going to be in the subject of language arts. Language arts, make your wagers accordingly. We will find out who moves on to round 2 when we come back. Good job, guys. Thank you very much.
This one's packed with hope. This one's packed with big dreams. This one's packed with inspiration. It may look like a simple brown bag lunch, it's really a big way to make a difference. That's because when you become a Take Stock in Children mentor, it takes just 1 hour a week to make an impact that can't be measured. Change a life over lunch. Become a mentor today.
Take Stock in Children is a major program of the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools. For more information on how you can become a mentor, call 239-337-0433 or email info@leeschoolfoundation.org. The A-Team Challenge, a major project of the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools, is provided in partnership with the School District of Lee County and Waterman Broadcasting.
2 pennies by themselves don't add up to much. But when you're a Suncoast member, every time you swipe your Suncoast credit or debit card, Suncoast donates 2 cents to help children's programs where you live. That means Suncoast members help make their community a better place every day just by buying things with their cards. And when we add all those pennies from all those Suncoast card swipes together, we can give millions of dollars to our children's future. Visit suncoastcreditunion.com and learn how much Suncoast could save you.
Welcome back to the concluding round of the A-Team Challenge for this game between Barron Collier High School and Riverdale High School. You might notice a couple of new faces up here. On my right, on the Barron Collier side, is Morgan Humphrey, right there as a senior. She's hopefully going to Washington University to study environmental engineering. Morgan, welcome to you on the team there. As we look over toward the Riverdale High School side, we have Philana Fan. Philana's in the back, in the middle there. Give us a wave so we can see you. She's a senior, Boston University. She'd like to head there and study biochemistry. And this guy with the glasses here is Devin Duncan, also a senior, wants to go to University of Alabama and study journalism. All right, so welcome to the alternates and both teams. Congratulations on making this a good game. It was a lot of fun. So we'll start with the question. Here's what the students have been working on. A little lengthy here, but you'll get the gist of it. We want you to give these words that became popular as a result of what happened during the World War I. The first one, we want to know the word for a fighter pilot who shoots down 5 of the enemy. It's now a verb meaning to do really well on a test. The next one, we want to know the French word describing both the green and brown clothing and a paint or foliage to hide something. The third one, we want to know you first used in England to describe that short period of drinking too much alcohol, but now we use it to describe watching too much television. And the fourth one we need is the shell that doesn't explode. So here are the answers that I need to see on your sheets. We have an ace, a camouflage, binge, and dud. All right? So we'll start with Riverdale High School. Riverdale High came in with 160 points. You got ace, camouflage, binge, and dud. Good for you, all 4 right. You wagered 160 points. That puts you up to 320, exactly what you should have done. Now, the question is, what does Barron Collier have? They answered ace, camouflage, binge, and dud. You got them all right. You wagered just 10 points. That brings you to 345. So by a margin of just 25 points, Barron Collier High School moves on to round 2. Let's give them a round of applause. All right. Let's show some good sportsmanship. If you would please stand up to congratulate each other. And thank you for watching the A-Team.